Welcome back to yet another event guide. We have arrived at our third unit-focused event of the year, the Warmth of a Guiding Hand. And we finally have the end date for this event announced, as it was originally excluded from the colorful corner information. The Warmth of a Guiding Hand will run from October 31st to November 6th. This is a limited More Jump unit-focused event in the Cool attribute. And since this is a unit-focused event, there will be a commissioned song released alongside the event. On October 31st, you will be granted the new song Hug through your mailbox. Hug releases with a virtual singer version sung by Miku and Kafu, as well as a Sekai version sung by the entire cast of MMJ with Len as supporting vocals. And while the song did not release with alternative vocals, in August of 2024, 3 alt vocals were released for Hug, one for Miku, one for Shizuku, and one for Len. So if you love Miku, Len, or Shizuku, you can look forward to 3 new alt vocals for the song Hug in August of 2025 for EN. As for the event story, Shizuku is the focus character this time around, with Minori, Airi, Haruka, and Kagamin Len taking the supporting cast. The event synopsis reads as follows. Things are getting busier and busier for the members of More Jump, and in turn it's becoming a lot more difficult for them to manage a proper schedule for their activities. Shizuku then made a suggestion of making Saito, someone who has helped and given them advice before, their manager. And of course, as always, following the event, we will have an afterlife that will be running between November 6th and November 7th. Participating in the virtual live during this period will grant you the standard 300 crystals and a stamp. The stamp this time around of Shizuku called I Understand. And if you wanna decorate your virtual live avatar, another headpiece has been added in the form of a washing bucket with a cute little rubber ducky inside. And as always, a virtual live headpiece will set you back 3,000 virtual tokens or 1,000 crystals if you wanna pick it up for your virtual live avatar. And of course, running alongside the event is the event gacha called As Autumn Dusk Wanes that will run from October 31st to November 8th. This is a limited gacha, meaning that these cards will not enter the standard gacha pool once the event ends, and instead you will have to wait until the next rerun in a year's time if you want to pick them up at a later date. In the gacha are 3 brand new cards, starting off with the event's focus character Shizuku and her card By the Hand to a Dream.
私たちの夢を一緒に叶えましょう。
Shizuku is a Scorer's Guild card with the skill name For all the support you have given us, and Scorer's Guild cards will grant a 100% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. And since this is a limited event, Shizuku does not only come with a new limited costume, but a new hairstyle as well, unlocked at Mastery Rank 2, and her new costume is called Melancholic Modern Girl. The second character that gets a card in the gacha is Haruka, with her card A Lavish Feast.
こんなに美味しいなんて。
Haruka is a Perfect Looker's Guild card with the skill name Guidance on the Role of a Ghost, and Perfect Looker's Guild card will change bad and higher taps into perfects for 5.5 seconds and grant a 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. Haruka also, of course, comes with a new hairstyle unlocked at Mastery Rank 2, as well as a new costume called Nostalgic Modern Girl. The final character available in the gacha is Airi with her card, Special Free Time Snapshot.
ちゃんと決めるわよ。
Airi is a Healer's Guild card with the skill name The Moment You Take a Bite, and Healer's Guild cards will recover 350 life and grant an 80% score bonus for 5 seconds at talent level 1. And to cap the gacha off, Airi of course also comes with a new hairstyle unlocked at Mastery Rank 2, as well as a new costume called Sentimental Modern Girl. We also have 2 exchange shop cards, with Minori taking the 2-star slot with her card, The Backs of My Seniors. Minori is a cute attribute skill card and a healer skilled card. And this of course means that Len takes the 3-star slot with his card, Travel Anticipation. Len, just like Minori, is a cute attribute card. And his skill, The Secret of Onsen Maiju, is a perfect locker. Both of these cards will become available once the event opens for the standard prices of 15,000 tokens for a 3-star and 5,000 tokens for a 2-star. And finally, because this is a cheerful carnival, we will have 2 teams competing for the victory. The teams this time around is Onsen Maiju versus Onsen Tamago. And on the Japanese server, Onsen Tamago won all 3 brackets, but we cannot know for sure that the Japanese winner will win once again on EN. But it's always nice to know which team actually won. And with that, we have covered all of the general information that you needed to know about the event, The Warmth of a Guiding Hand, so we can instead move over to the event team building. And before we get into the actual event team building, I wanna mention the changes to event bonus from mastery rank when it comes to 4-star cards and birthday cards. I will keep mentioning this for a few more videos until it becomes a bit more widely known that the change actually happened. With the 3rd anniversary, 4-star cards and anniversary cards had their event bonus from a mastery rank changed. In every event after the 3rd anniversary, the 4-star cards was given a boost to their event bonus granted from mastery ranks. All 4-star cards, no matter their unit or attribute, will grant a flat 10% event bonus for being mastery rank 0. This basically means that cards in the correct attribute and the correct characters who usually grants a 50% event bonus will now grant a 60% event bonus if they are a 4-star card. This is also applied to the new Gacha focus card for any given event, making the 70% event bonus those cards grant as a baseline into an 80% bonus instead. The same also happened with happy birthday cards and anniversary cards, but instead of being a 10% increase, they gain a 5% event bonus from being mastery rank 0. Making birthday cards and anniversary cards a 55% bonus baseline if they are the correct character and the correct attribute. To keep things simple, I will not mention this further during the event team building section of the video, since it is the character and the attribute matching the event making them 50%, while the flat event bonus granted from being Mastery 0 is granted to every single 4-star card, no matter the character or attribute. And it also keeps things more straightforward when talking about the event team building. So the question is, what cards will grant you a 50% bonus so you can fill out your team and make the strongest event team possible? Starting off with this event's focus character, Shizuku has 5 available cards, including her 2-star card from the event Beyond the Dream on that day and her 3-star card from the event Let's Restart From Here. She also has 2 4-star cards, both of which are permanent. The first one comes from the event Color of Myself, while the second one comes from the event Radiance Beyond the Blue Sky. Shizuku's final card is a bonus card in the form of the Happy Birthday card from the first year. Following this up with the second character in the gacha, Haruka only has 4 available cards. This includes her 2-star card from the event Step by Step, her 3-star card from the release of the game, and 2 4-star cards, both of which are limited. Her first limited card to be released is her Colorful Festival exclusive card, while the second one comes from the event The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You. This makes the new gacha card Haruka's 3rd cool attribute limited card. Keeping up the tempo with the 3rd and final gacha character, Airi follows in Haruka's footstep and only have 4 available cards. This includes her 2-star card from the event Break Time for the Hardworking You and 3 4-star cards, all of which are permanent. In order of release, Airi's first 4-star card comes from the event Color of Myself, the second one comes from the event Radiance Beyond the Blue Sky, and the final one comes from the event Step by Step. Finishing off the main unit roster is Minori with 5 available cards. This includes her 2-star card from the release of the game and her 3-star card from the event Singing With You in a World Where Cherry Blossoms Dance. Minori also has 2 available 4-star cards, 1 limited, 1 permanent. The limited one coming from the event The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You, and the permanent one coming from the event Step by Step. Minori's 5th and final card is a bonus card in the form of her first year happy birthday card, just like Shizuku. And this leaves us with the virtual singers, and Len is the focus character for the event, but since this is a unit focused event despite being a limited event, this means that all virtual singers with the more jump unit tag can grab the 50% bonus if they are the correct attribute and has the more jump unit tag. And this results in 7 available cards for the virtual singers. This includes the 2-star Miku from the release celebration gacha, and the 2-star Rin from the event Cherry Blossoms Across Sekai, Interconnecting Our Feelings. Rin also has a 3-star card available in the form of her card from the event Operation Secret Valentine. Finally, we have 4 available 4-star cards, 1 limited, 3 permanent. The limited 4-star card is the Rin from the event The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You, while the 3 permanent 4-star cards in order of release is the Luca 4-star card from the event Color of Myself, the Meiko 4-star card from the event Chasing the Radiance Beyond the Blue Sky, and finally the 4-star Len from the event Step by Step. And since this is a unit-focused event, this also means that all virtual singers in the cool attribute will grant the 40% bonus if they are considered blank or unitless. This gives us another 6 available cards who has the 40% bonus instead of the 50% bonus. This includes the 1-star Meiko from the release of the game, the Greedy Judge from the 7 Deadly Sins, the Happy Anniversary Rin card from the first year, the Happy Anniversary Kaito card from second year, the Colorful Festival exclusive Rin from the 2.5 anniversary, and finally the new 2-star Rin card Origin Style, released with the 3rd anniversary into the gacha. So this is our final event team building roster, with the only asterisk being that the 2-star Haruka from Step by Step has yet to enter the standard gacha pool. This of course means that if you miss this Haruka during the event Step by Step, you have no way of acquiring her at the current moment. And despite this being a unit event, I feel like the team building is weak and very weird. There are several aspects of this event that feels weird and clunky to build around. Airi is lacking a 3-star card, Haruka does not have any permanent 4-star cards, so if you have not pulled specifically for the Colorful Festival card or the Naive Voice That Cries Out to You, both of which are very old events at this point, you have no way of having a 4-star card for Haruka. At the same time, this entire event team building is actually only comprised of 4 different cool attribute unit focused events for more jump. The only card that does not come from a more jump unit focused event in the cool attribute is the Colorful Festival Haruka, and she only does that because she's a Colorful Festival card. Usually we are more used to seeing mixed event cards for one of the characters at least, but this time around there's only unit focused events, meaning that if you're not a more jump fan or have gotten lucky to get these, you most likely have a very weak event team roster for this event. I also feel very torn if this event is actually beginner friendly or not, because there are a lot of different 2-stars available, enough to even build a team despite Haruka not being available. But the fact that we don't even have 5 available 3-star cards is really putting me off. I don't know why Airi still does not have a cool 3-star card. Like, we are not short on options for these characters, especially not when it comes to 4-star card, but I yet don't feel like this is a very solid and easily built event team. So this event definitely isn't the greatest when it comes to the event team building, despite there being a lot of options. I can especially see it being very difficult for new players to fill out the roster. But I can rant on and on about unit distribution and card availability in Project Sekai, and that's not really what we're here for. So let's move on from the event team building with the final notion that it's a very weird event team building section, and instead look towards what future usability the 3 gacha focus cards have. And I feel like this is kinda standard, but when the event team building is weird, usually the future usability is actually pretty decent. This event is no exception, with all 3 of the gacha focus characters seeing use at least once, 2 of them seeing use twice. The first one to see use is Haruka during the mixed event Over Here, Over There Zookeeper Experience. This event will run from December 10th to December 18th and includes Minori, Shiho, and Luca in the gacha. This of course means that Haruka is only ever available with a 50% bonus, making the Haruka from the event The Warmth of a Guiding Hand higher gameplay value, especially considering that she only has limited cards available to her. So if you do not have a cool Haruka 4-star, The Warmth of a Guiding Hand will be your final way to get one before the event Over Here, Over There Zookeeper Experience. This is followed by all 3 of the cards seeing use at the same time during the event Lead to Shine More that will run from June 10th to June 18th, 2025. So as you might have guessed, this is yet another More Jump unit-focused event in the cool attribute with Haruka, Shizuku, and Kaito in the gacha. This means that Shizuku and Haruka from The Warmth of a Guiding Hand will be lower gameplay value, while Airi will be of higher gameplay value. But for Haruka's sake, it's worth mentioning that when we talk about the future usability and gameplay value of a card, Haruka's card from The Warmth of a Guiding Hand will be higher gameplay value based on the fact that she only has 3 options, all of which are limited. So if you're not summoning from the event Lead to Shine More, The Warmth of a Guiding Hand will be your only option except for the rerun of the event The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You. So that's one aspect to keep in mind when it comes to future usability, and Shizuku only had 2 available options, which are both quite old permanent cards, and Airi still doesn't even have a 3-star card available. So The Warmth of a Guiding Hand is surely a pretty solid option to fill out your event roster if you're not summoning from the event Lead to Shine More. Finally, Shizuku sees use once more during the event Wonder Horror Test of Courage that will run from August 31st to September 8th. In the gacha for Wonder Horror is Mafyu, Emu, and Nami, meaning that Shizuku is only ever available with a 50% bonus, making her card from the event The Warmth of a Guiding Hand higher gameplay value. So the gacha cards actually have some very good coverage that will be useful in the future if you do decide to pull from this gacha. Airi being the weakest with only 1 usability, but her being a lot stronger for her usability during that event really weighs up for her lack of a second event as far as we can currently see. As for the 2 exchange shop cards, both Len and Minori are of the cute attribute and will see use during a single event together called Chase My Ideal Idol. This event will run from July 31st to August 7 and is a More Jump unit focused event in the cute attribute and yet another limited event for the unit. In the gacha is once again Airi, Shizuku, and Haruka, meaning that the Minori and the Len are both of higher gameplay value and really valid to pick up from the exchange shop. My suggestion is that you always pick up the exchange shop cards as they will bolster your roster and give you crystals and character rank points, but in this case they will actually see future use where you might have gaps in your team building. So don't forget to pick up the Len and the Minori as they have future use already confirmed. So these cards actually have some really nice future usability, bolstering the reason why you should pick them up, especially seeing how weird the event team building for More Jump in the cool attribute was. Of course, you should never pull cards because of their future usability, instead you should pick the cards that you love the most, but it's always nice knowing that the cards will see use again and have a reason to be used again. But I do think that that covers everything we need to talk about when it comes to the future usability, so instead let's turn our attention to new limited costumes for the 3 gacha focus characters. And the first character to get a new limited costume is Shizuku during the event Next to the Unchanging Warmth. This is the New Year's gacha and is connected to a colorful festival, where Minori and Shizuku are the colorful festival exclusive cards. The colorful festival Shizuku and Minori will only be available from December 31st to January 4th. And the 3 event characters joining them in the gacha are Shiho, Meiko, and Mizuki. And this is directly followed by Haruka during the event Take the Best Shot that will run from January 31st to February 8th. In the gacha for this event is Ena, Kohane, and Haruka. After that we have quite a long break for Airi, Haruka, and Shizuku until they all 3 show up during the event Chase My Ideal Idol that we already talked about. Just to refresh, this event will run from July 31st to August 7th and includes Airi, Haruka, and Shizuku in the gacha. And this is capped off with yet another card for Airi during the event Carry These Feelings, Dream Stage, or as it's more commonly known, 4th Anniversary. This event will run from September 30th to October 9th and includes Toya, Airi, Shiho, and Nene in the event gacha. But since this is an anniversary event, it is connected to a Bloom Festival with Rin and Rui as the Bloom Festival representatives. And I am recording this before the limited event for October is revealed, meaning that I do not know if either Haruka, Shizuku, or Airi will get yet another limited costume during this event. So your options for new limited costumes for Airi, Shizuku, and Haruka is very limited. But if one of these costumes have interested you, mark down the date and make sure you have your crystals ready, as they will be coming sooner than you think. Moving on to the reruns, the roster looks a bit better, so let's rapid fire your options. And as always, remember, the second rerun of any given limited gacha is the final rerun before it enters the Recollection Festival and the standalone gacha is discontinued. If you have not yet watched my Recollection Festival video, I urge you to do so if you want to learn more about how the Recollection Festival works and what it will actually entail for the discontinued gacha cards. But with that, our first limited gacha we will see is Flight to the Future during December, with its final rerun confirmed for October 2025. This is followed by the final rerun of Maiden's Wish for a New Year in January. In February, Graceful Marriage will have its final rerun, with Secret Tea Time following suit in March. The Naive Voice That Cries Out to You will have its final rerun in April, followed by the Moonlight's sister Night Rabbit's gacha having its final rerun in May. In June, we will see the final rerun of the Darkness Festa or 2nd Anniversary gacha, followed by the first rerun of Once in a Lifetime Pandemonium or Unmissable Spirited Affair in July, with no second rerun yet confirmed. The final rerun we will see is the Welcome to Diner gacha that will have its first rerun in August of 2025 with no second and final rerun confirmed yet. So there are a lot of more Jump unit gachas being phased out during this year. If one of these are your favorite or you've been saving for it, make sure to mark the date so you're ready when the gacha rolls around so you don't miss the cards that you want. So we arrive at our final question of the hour. Should you summon from the As Autumn Dusk Wanes gacha, and should you participate in the Warmth of a Guiding Hand event? And the short answer is, as always, of course. If you want these cards, you should definitely pull for them, and you should always participate in every event to get a lot of different rewards. But as always, if you're a bit on the fence, we can discuss the card value and if it is really worth it to pick up these cards. This is our 5th More Jump unit-focused cool attribute event with a 6th on the horizon as we already discussed. Despite this, More Jump is very weird when it comes to cool cards, as the cool cards are scattered all over the place and it doesn't really feel like it's easy to have all of them. This is a limited event, so the cards are technically higher value and harder to come by, as you will have to wait for a rerun if you want these cards very badly but don't decide to pick them up during their initial run. It's also worth mentioning that they did see pretty good future usability, and like I already said, the cool card distribution in More Jump is very odd. But it's also a question if you already have a lot of cool cards for More Jump, such as the Colorful Festival exclusive Haruka, is this gacha really worth it to pull from when you already have cards covering this attribute? Especially when you have another unit-focused limited event coming up on the horizon in the form of the event Chase My Ideal Idol. I feel torn on this event, as I feel like it's a very pretty set with a lot of symbolism for More Jump, but I also feel like the cards are weirdly chosen to be cool once again, and More Jump and cool is such a weird combination overall. Still, seeing as it is a limited event with a lot of future usability and also weird event team building, I definitely see no issues pulling from this gacha if you really want the cards. As a massive More Jump fan, I would have loved to pull from this gacha, but I just don't have the crystals at the moment, and therefore I will rationalize it away, as I do have a lot of cool More Jump cards already. But in the comments, tell me what you think about this gacha. Do you like the thematic? What do you think about the team building? What do you think about yet another cool More Jump event? They keep getting them. Apparently they are very cool girls. I can't deny that. As always, I love to hear your opinions, and I do try to read every comment, even though I've been kinda slow because of my sickness that I've been facing all week. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications of the next Before You Summon episode. And I would also love to request that you leave a like and share it with a friend, as these courtesies really do help me grow and reach further. But with that, I want to give you all a massive thank you for 15,000 subscribers. Not as big of a milestone as 10,000, but it is impressive that we've gotten that far in this short of a time. I am really overwhelmed with all of your support and all of your love for the content I'm making, and I really hope that I will be able to earn enough money to actually branch out and make more interesting content for you guys, and also content that I will enjoy looking back on. But with that, I have kept you here for far too long. Let's get out of here for the week.